Welcome to day 435 of our DSO journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian. Remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DSOFi. So, DAODAO, what do you make of all the activity that's been going on with DAODAO? The price action was kind of interesting yesterday. It fell all the way down to 3.1 cents per DAO coin, which is well below the high that we hit, I think, around 15 cents late last week.
Yeah, I think some of that initial buzz has worn off. Um, you had all the publicity, all of the PRs, just all of the excitement around it opening up, and then having that first round of funding. I think some of that has kind of faded, and now I think everybody's just waiting for results. And when I say results, I mean new DAOs launching, maybe from outside of DSO. I think that's going to be key. You've got DAOs all from inside of DSO launching it, and that's great. But we need money from outside of DSO. And I know the core team, I know that the DAO team, they understand this. Without that demand from outside of DSO, you're just kind of going to have kind of like an echo chamber of DAOs bouncing back and forth and not really enough money to really fund some of these projects. So I think we'll see it kind of level off in the probably like 4 to like 7 cent range, at least in my mind. And we'll have to wait and see what happens now that things are kind of fading a little bit. Some of the excitement's fading a little bit.
Yeah, but DAODAO is still hiring. They added a new employee. It was just announced yesterday. Erica Chinese. I hope I'm saying your name right. Erica Ishaniz, I believe. So she joined the DSO Foundation to help with DAODAO as the head of community and partnerships. She's worked at WeFunder in the past, which is a centralized equity crowdfunding platform. She's also a VC fellow at Ripple Ventures and part-time scout at On Deck, which is a network for tech's most ambitious people. So it's great to have Erica on board. I know she's been on DSO for a while. I remember when she joined. I think we talked about it on our show because she was a well-respected person within the Web3 space. So it's great to have her on Team DAO now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see her. Let's give her a little mini celebration here. But yeah, like I've seen her background. She's really young. She has a lot of great ideas. I'm sure she has a lot of experience despite being pretty young, and I think she's going to be a really good fit for DAO. Um, but yeah, like and I think we need to also hope, at least I hope, that we see some hirings just for the foundation and for DSO in general. Uh, I think it's important we don't forget about DSO because there's so much that the community still needs to accomplish. I think some people feel a little bit left out, and that a lot of the focus is on DAO, rightfully so. Like I think their plan of action to focus on DAO is necessary, but I do think that there could be, hopefully there's going to be more focus on the DSO community as well. I know a COO has to be hired. They're looking for a COO, I believe. There's some talk in Discord. Why don't you go after Sheryl Sandberg, who just stepped down from Facebook? Uh, Obviously, it will take a lot to get her over here. But could you imagine? Could you imagine if they got a big name like that? That would be nuts. And Ed Moss said that it's probably not likely, but somebody from the foundation will probably reach out to her just to see what can be done.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, so welcome, Erica. I know I said your last name wrong. Feel free to reply to this post and let me know how to say your last name because I'm sure we'll talk about you again in the future. Welcome aboard, and we're excited to have you here. Design Star had an interesting post that they made yesterday, Brian.
Yeah, so if you've been following Design Sys since the beginning, they were some of the OGs of OGs.
Yep.
The two sisters, Luis and Lucy, they're launching an app called Story, which is built on the DSO blockchain, kind of like Instagram. They have NFTs. It's a really cool project, but they said that they spent over $500,000 since starting the development on Story. They talk about how much time and money they've spent here on DSO, both with Story, excuse me, and also with themselves. They aped in. They bought a lot of DSO, bought a lot of their own coin from the start, uh, and they're doing this to try and push DSO forward. And I mean, I sense a little bit of frustration from them. Uh, there's a discussion in the thread about like like what other possibilities there are besides DSO. Uh, I think this again kind of circles back to I think we need a better outreach towards developers, towards the community. And I'm sure that's coming, but I do think that we've been talking about that a lot probably over the last 6 months, and we haven't seen too much there. I know their focus is on DAO, like I said before, rightfully so, but I do think that something needs to be done kind of from a community aspect segment of things, whether it's just maybe hiring one or two people to just devote solely to the creators and the developers. Uh, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like they move so many of their employees' time from building DSO, building the DSO community, you know, building relationships with developers, making sure developers remain happy, making sure the Octane funded companies remain happy. So many of those people either have left or have been transferred to, at least some of their work has been transferred to working on DAODAO. So I feel like the DSO community, the DSO part of everything has been neglected a little bit. And like, I don't blame Natter for it because I think, he did have his awesome idea with DAO. But at the same time, I can kind of understand some frustrations, like you said, Brian, where, you feel like I was really excited about what I'm building, but the core team isn't really getting back to me as fast as I really need them to, or they're not working on things as quickly as I need them to. So, I think this is going to improve. I think now that DAO has been launched, some of that time can kind of be moved back to DSO for some of the individuals working on the team, some of the developers, some of the, community outreach people. I think they can start focusing more on DSO. But at the same time, I think the DSO Foundation needs to hire more people and get people who are willing to stick around, because we've seen so much turnover over the last past several months, whether it was Megan Vito or Alex Villegas, and Maybeam's kind of not around as much. I think they need to work on that, and I think it's gonna happen. It's just gonna take time, but like you said, people are getting a little frustrated over things, and you can't really blame them.
Yeah, and I'll just add, like I think it's almost okay right now. It does suck if we're losing some of the core members of the early
Yeah.
days because they're very valuable. They have a lot of experience, and it's important we try and retain as many people as possible. But I think that right now there really isn't a viable alternative for DSO from a decentralized social, I guess, realm. Uh, there will be other decentralized social protocols coming. There is Lens, which is I don't think it's really workable right now, but these other protocols will develop and they will become competition. So I think it's important that we, in this quiet time, we keep building and we keep trying to reinforce the DSO community and make people happy, make creators happy, make developers happy. Because once these competitors come in and they start to challenge DSO, that's going to be a challenge. So I think we got to keep the strong base now, keep it, build it now before we do have to start worrying about competition, which I think is probably maybe 6 to 12 months down the line.
Yeah, and you got to worry about, once that competition comes, you got to worry about losing not only community members but also developers, and that's something that could be detrimental to the future of DSO if you start losing some of these developers to other chains.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a huge DAO tweet yesterday as well. Actually, it wasn't yesterday. I think it was June 1st, which was 3 days ago, by a Twitter account called Vault BTW. They have 163.7 thousand followers. They mostly tweet about Web3, and they tweeted promoting DAO. The tweet received 3,000 or 2,344 retweets, and it also got 2,339 likes. It was a tweet that was giving. It said that DAO was giving away $200 in ETH to those who enter. And in order to enter, you just had to follow the DAODAO Twitter account, which is DAODAO_IO. Like, retweet, and tag 2 friends in the tweet that I mentioned. And also join the DAODAO Discord. And it got a ton of activity, like I said, and I'm really impressed by how much activity they got. And DAODAO did get a lot of new followers. I think they're up to like 6,800 and some followers on Twitter. I thought they'd get more followers out of 2,344 retweets, but I mean, this is a marketing ploy, a way they're marketing DAODAO. What I found interesting though is that the number of owners, number of hodlers of DAODAO really hasn't changed over the last couple of days, at least according to the stats on DAODAO.io. If you check them out and go to Discover and then go to the DAODAO page, it says there's 1,494 hodlers, and this really remains unchanged over the last couple of days. So, there's some people who are selling, others who are entering, but you'd like to see this number go up, unless the number's not correct. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody who might be joining DAODAO and checking it out might not be buying the DAODAO coin. The marketing efforts might not be to get people to hold the
Yeah.
DAODAO coin, but rather to find out about DAODAO and maybe consider launching their own DAO or investing in other DAOs.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point too. Also, yesterday we talked a lot about the DeSo Community DAO, which is a DAO. It's going to be of 30 individuals that kind of helps run the DeSo community. And Malsified has been added to the DeSo Community DAO. He's the 18th member. Congratulations to Ed Moss. So he's a core team member. So it's interesting that the DeSo Community DAO is bringing core team members into it. I think that's a good thing. Malsified joins the other 17 people, who include Darian Parrish, Sandy Rose, Goldberry, Wendolinsky, Darisha Vyar, Tyne, Daniel Wilson, Krasenstein, us, Michelle Lord, Randir, Gabby, Mr. Triplet, John Jarden, Stargazer, Grace Baseme, Misty S., and William Laurent. All great people. It's really coming together. I want to see who the remaining 12 are. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and they're actually filling out kind of like roles. So like they if you're a member, if you're listening and you're a member, they actually have a document where the management teams can the members can become members of different management teams. And there's ones for this treasury, there's ones for just overall management, for finance, for dApps and development. So if you are a member of the DeSo Community DAO and you haven't done that, please do so. I know we put our names down for finance and as well as the legal and ethic committee. So check that out.
Yeah, so it's a great thing that they're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds. But in other news, Zirkles, of course, by Tony Lewis and Dennis H. Lewis's DeSo No Code, Zirkles announced their referral program, and it's offering rewards up to 30% in commission for the next decade. 30% of the Zirkles royalty slash transaction fees from all rewards received by people you refer. You'll receive that, and you'll
That's
also receive
impressive.
30% of any subscription payments for paid plans that they may decide to purchase, and also 5 amps. Amps are, of course, their coin that they have issued and they will be giving out. You receive 5 amps for every referral that creates a Zirkles account. Of course, Zirkles is a long form, medium like node that's built on top of the DeSo blockchain, where you can earn money for your post. You can use amps coins to boost your post to the top to get more views. It's a really unique, interesting idea that I think so far has been very successful.
Yeah, I love the referral program because like just imagine you referred like a really good writer to Zirkles and Zirkles really took off. Like that could be like an income in itself, 30%. So it's definitely a long-term vision. Uh, if you believe in Zirkles, you might want to start referring some of your favorite writers and bloggers and journalists.
Yeah, good idea. And Alton Base put some interesting stats out yesterday, Brian.
Yeah, so out in base, they have a lot of great stats. But yesterday, a few stats stood out to me. They released this. This was yesterday's activity, and there's a total of 1,585 daily active users, which isn't terrible. But and then you kind of wean things down. Daily active users with at least 10 actions. So an action would be a like, a heart, a diamond, a post, a reply, anything like that. And there's only 441 of those in the last 24 hours. And with 50 actions in the last 24 hours, 109. 50 is kind of a lot, so I don't want to judge that number too much. DAO contributions. There's been 42 contributions to DAOs in the last 24 hours for $2,700. Not so hot, I wouldn't say. It's a little bit low there. But yesterday was a slow day, I think. Excuse me.
You're really
Dow,
struggling with that cough, Brian.
I know it came back. Dow trade volume was $32,627. That's people buying and selling Dow coins of various DAOs, and 448 different people have given diamonds in the last day. So that's a good metric. So 448 different accounts have given diamonds in the last day. 661 accounts have given likes, and 844 accounts have made a post in the last day. So it gives you a kind of an idea of the activity level on DSO. Not great. I mean, things have slowed, but I think this kind of goes back to trying to amplify the community and and get the community more active and engaged and feeling like they belong. And I think that's important.
Yeah, we've seen better days, but I think there's also better days ahead.
Agreed. So it's a deep, yes, said made a post and he said he's planning to release something big on Monday. He wrote, quote, "You will be amazed with what I'm going to release on this Monday." And then he put some big eyeballs.
What do you think it's going to
So
be?
I'm excited because it's a DA usually doesn't let you down. If he's prepping something and saying that something big's coming, I believe something big's coming. And of course, he's done so much with Quartify, with the Mint as NFT feature on Twitter. I'm guessing something pretty cool is coming.
Maybe Mint as DAO on Twitter.
Maybe we'll see.
I don't know if that would actually work, but it's an idea. So what were the top hashtags from the last 24 hours, Brian?
Number one was DSO, followed by NFT, music, Web3, and crypto. So all ones we've seen before.
And the top diamonded creators over the last 24 hours were.
Thanks to Altenbase, the list is as follows: The Social World, Regina Marie, Designsta, Krasenstein, Now and Then, Mayumi Japan, The Devil, Oimlongs, Yuchi, and Natter himself.
Congratulations to the top diamonded earners over the last 24 hours. And I think that's all the news we have for today. Everybody, please
Yeah.
have a good.
I just want to say something. Like I know I was maybe a little bit negative in this day's video. I want to make sure you all realize I am not at all negative on DSO. I think the future is bright. I'm just trying to give some feedback on from what I'm hearing from the community, both privately and publicly. I just think that we need to keep paying attention to the DSO as a blockchain, as a social media platform. I think that creators and developers alike feel a little bit maybe underappreciated. So I'm just saying that I think that things are going to get better. I think that the DAO launch really took a lot of energy and time from the core team. So I don't want to judge them too much for that. I think they're doing what they have to do with what they have. But overall, I'm still very positive on what's to come, and I think DAO is going to be a big part of that.
And for the record, I don't feel underappreciated. So everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.